Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. Is going to be the round 17 review, and as you can see, a very solid and very respectable 1,317 points for the round, which is lovely. Honestly, it was a great week. As you can see, we jumped up 231 spots, sitting inside the top 500, 482 overall, and yeah, it's been like I said last week. For whatever reason, the actual buys, like the major buy rounds 13 and 16 so far, like we've gone okay, and we've gone up a few ranks, but the round after the major buys, so 14 and now 17, we've made our big moves. So I think some good planning, and yeah, most of our, honestly, this week was just very satisfying. We obviously, there was a couple of stinkers, a couple of just average scores, but overall there were just a lot of really good scores across the board. There was no real frustrating moments, really, compared to most weeks. I feel like I don't want to complain. I mean, I'm sitting 482 overall. I can't be like, oh, everything's gone against me. But I feel like most weeks there's been a couple of things just not quite go our way. But this week it was just all pretty good. And our two trades worked an absolute treat. So let's have a look at the breakdown. So starting out with the dummy halves, I guess they were a bit average. Harry Grant with a 48, Damien Cook with a 41. I mean, I'm actually surprised Cook only got 41. I guess he didn't play the last 15 minutes, I think. He was actually looking like a decent score, but yeah, he got subbed off. I'm not, that's fine. Honestly, the dummy halves this year have been just an absolute wasteland. Looking back to like round 13, right? Jeremy Marshall-King was like in my opinion, he was the best potential pickup until Damien Cook obviously was available with Origin, but now that's thrown out the window. But Marshall-King was like, he was killing it. He was going fantastic. He had great buy coverage. He was a fantastic pickup. But for people that jumped on Marshall-King, they have been absolutely screwed over. Like he's missed so many games, and I'm actually curious to see what his price tag is now, because he's played a couple of games where he scored low, and yeah, he just keeps picking up niggles. So who else is there? Reece Robson backed up. I think he did play 80 minutes, or maybe he did get a spell, but I don't think he did that well. And then I don't know, the rest of the dummy halves are like cheapies that can sometimes go decent, sometimes go shit. So Damien Cook and Grant for me at this point, and also Wade Egan. Wade Egan was looking like a really good pickup, but now the head knocks. I mean, he got another head knock on the weekend. He did thankfully come back and finish the game, but he's just so unfortunately unreliable that the Grant Cook combo, I just don't see myself, unless something drastic happens, someone pops up out of the blue, or one of these guys gets injured, I just don't see myself really going off them, which is fine. I mean, the dummy halves have just been a bit shit this year, if we're being honest. The front row, oh baby, the front row. So Tohu Harris 56, it's okay. I'm pretty sure he played the full 80 minutes. The work rate was pretty good, but no real attacking stats. It was pretty much all in base, and yeah, that's what you expect from Tohu. He always looks like he's picked up a niggle like a couple of times during the game. As far as front rowers, he might be a guy that you do look after Origin. If we have luxury trades up our sleeve, I could potentially see myself going Tohu Harris up to a Payne Haas or a Tino or someone else. But at the moment, he's plugging along, doing a great job. He's averaging mid-60s, so it's fine. Joe Tarpany, 71. I mean, the minutes have definitely increased. And now Papali'i looks like he's done a hemi, so he should be, I'd imagine he'll be gone for a few weeks. And yeah, Tarpany's just looking good. I mean, the scores, he's had a couple of lowish scores mixed in, but he's definitely hit a bit of a purple patch. I mean, the scores have been so consistent. Like, even from the start, dude, like 60s. Like, I was a bit annoyed with Tarpany for a bit, but I mean, he's going like 60s without tries and stuff. But he went like 70, 47, the lowest one, but then 82, 67, then 49. The minutes have been up. He only played 50 minutes in this game, surprisingly, but 71 points. I mean, the offloading, the tackle busting was sort of up a bit. So, yeah, Tarpany, I think Tarpany is just going to be a mainstay. I don't see myself getting rid of Tarpany. I mean, yeah, Tino or Payne-Haas maybe do have better upside, but is it really worth it? I don't know. Again, luxury trades pending, maybe, but I don't think Tarpany is going to go anywhere. Big Solomona. Oh, baby. Big 90 points for our big man. That one feels good. Obviously, Ali Katoa was ruled out again. It meant Solomona moved to the edge, which, that was the other reason why I picked up Solomona, was it was sort of a bob each way with Ali Katoa. It's because it's shown, and it's shown before, like if they're needing a back row option, because I don't know, I'm assuming, I'd be surprised if Ali Katoa's not back this week, but I don't know, maybe it's more like, maybe he did do some actual damage to his actual eye, so it could be a bit longer. If that's the case, then Nelson gets the edge spot, and if there's anything else that happens to an edge player, like Trent Liero, for instance, then you would think Solomona goes out on the edge anyway. So he's a very handy pickup there. But also, even if he goes when they're fully strengthened, they got their two edges back, Solomon is just a really handy front row pickup now, I think. Like, he's very safe 40 to 50 points with just base and tackle busting, offloading. And then he's got the upside. He's a try-scoring, line-breaking front rower. And he's I picked him up at like 440k, which was very, pretty damn cheap for Solomona. Obviously with a few injuries throughout the season. So if he can stay fit, if he can stay on the park, there's always one moment in a game where Solomon is out there where, for whatever reason, he just gets very agitated. Like, there's just one moment. I can't remember what happened, but he got a bit fired up with someone else, and there was a bit of push and shove, and there's always one moment where after like a penalty or something gets blown and they have a little talk, like, he always sort of calms down, but there's always that one moment when I'm like, stop, don't throw a silly punch or something and get sin bin, for God's sakes. But he came out, he played big minutes as well. I think he didn't play the full 80, but I'm pretty sure he played like 70. Yeah, he played 76 minutes, which was lovely, and scored that beauty of a try. So, yeah, the Solomon pickup, very nice. Obviously, Fainu not playing. It is what it is. Our back row, the back row is pretty damn good. Jermaine Hopgood, 105. I mean, he was the obvious player to bring in for round 13. Round 16 I brought him. Yeah, round 16, right? When did we bring him back? A couple of weeks ago? I don't know. I might have brought him back the week before round 16. I can't remember, dude. It's all blending in. But he was the obvious back row option to bring in for the buys. You knew he was going to play big minutes over the Origin period, with a couple of the Parramatta forwards still being out. Junior Paulo playing Origin. So it was all looking good. And then he just comes out and goes bang, bang. Couple of back-to-back, basically, tons. And yeah, life is pretty good for Hopgood. I do see, like, it's like the start of the year, dude. Because we look at his fucking start. He went bang, bang. And then he dropped off a fair bit. Like, 40s are still really good, but obviously not hundreds. And then he was sort of middling, and then he cranked out the odd big one. And then round 9, where it started again, but the 60, then 81, 78, 74, 62, 96, 105. He has been on an absolute tear. Obviously with Campbell Gillard, Junior Paulo, Ryan Madison, all these guys sort of being missing for Parsford, it's really helped Hopgood. I do think, when they all come back, Hopgood's minutes are definitely going to drop to more like that 50-minute mark, which I don't know. At this point, I'm probably not going to end up selling Hopgood. Maybe after Origin, Hopgood with the price he'll be at, he could be a really easy trade-off to Dave Fafita. Because you do, like, out of every player to bring back, Fafita is definitely the most valuable player. And, I mean, Cleary as well. But Fafita is definitely the best back row option in the comp. So, if Hopgood just goes whack and makes him... I mean, he's already made money. He's going to make a lot more. And then he's, like, a really easy trade-off to Fafita. I would never do this usually. Like, have a player from the start, trade him out, trade him back in, and then trade him out again. But I mean, if it works out, it works out. Corey Horsburgh. So Horsburgh was the guy we brought in for Hilam Lukey. That's right. So that was a beautiful trade. It didn't cost us like 100k, which is pretty damn good. And the more I was thinking about it, like I wanted, and I'll talk about this in a second when I talk about the center wings, but there was another guy I wanted, and obviously it did hurt. It was probably, I know I said at the start I was like, it wasn't a frustrating round of Supercoach, but the Warriors game, it was slightly frustrating because of one reason. But there was one guy I wanted. I couldn't make it work just because Eli Katoa got ruled out. But the more I was looking at Corey Horsburgh, I was like, you know what? This man is an absolute monster. 87 points, just 70 minutes. Like, look at the minutes, bro. He's absolute. I mean, the 80 minutes on the edge, but 70 minutes through the middle. Like, from round 6, he's been playing 70 minutes. Couple of 63s here for whatever reason, played a few less minutes, but again, with Papali'i being out, you would expect Horsburgh to continue the onslaught. And I mean, he's so good. Like, honestly, I'm so impressed with Horsburgh this year. He looks so solid. Like, the defensive work, like hit-ups, offloads, tackle busts, like, he's just looking really good. And the beauty about Horsburgh is that he's a dual second row, front row forward. So we have plenty of option now to swing and move players around if needed. Brycey Cartwright, 87 points. Cartwright. I mean, honestly, Cartwright's probably been our best purchase this year. Like, we started with him at the start of the year. He had one of the edge back row spots. It was out of him and Dury. And I know a lot of people went Dury. I don't think... How many people own him? Only 12% of teams own Cartwright, which is fucking crazy. But a lot of... Obviously, most people went Dury, I think. Which, I don't know. I've never been that big a fan of Dury. And I think Cartwright... Obviously, it could have gone... I guess it could have gone either way. Potentially. But Cartwright obviously has a bit more about him than Dury. His Supercoach scoring was obviously going to be better in general, so it seemed a pretty simple decision to start. And he was always a guy that I thought eventually we're going to get rid of. It was probably around. I mean, every time he scored a low one like this, I mean, well, he played 80 minutes, so that was probably fine. But then he went back to 49 minutes here, 34 points. I was probably like, okay, we're probably going to get rid of him. Then he plays 80 minutes, 35 points, not great. So, but back to 80 minutes again for 2 weeks. Okay, we'll keep him. Round 10, back to 49 minutes and then 51 minutes. And that was the time where I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to get rid of him, I think, again. But then with Origin and everything coming up, back to 80 minutes and just has not looked back. He just looks so... Honestly, I've never been a fan of Cartwright. I've always thought he's been fucking trash, but he's actually been really good this year. I think he's been really, really good for the Eels, and obviously I'm biased to an extent because of Supercoach, but he's been really solid defensively, and just the threat on the edge, his offloading has been way more like... He's still throwing offloads and the odd flick pass, but it's less like silly offloading like a Zach Lomax and stuff, like, and what he used to do in the past. It's way more like toned back but still effective. So yeah, I mean, Cartwright, a couple of those like through the gap offloading. He was on like 40 points. Like, I remember I didn't get to see the first half of this game. I looked at the scores and he was on like 40 to 50 points at half time. And I was looking at just the stats on Fox Sports, and he'd only done like 6 tackles and ran for like 50 meters with no tries. I was like, what the hell? I was like, how the hell is he on 40 odd points? But yeah, he had like a couple of offloads with line break assists. Beautiful stuff. So the other guys, obviously, they're back. Eli Katoa, Oh, I mean, I do hope he's back for sure because I do think he's. I'm curious how many people actually do own Katoa. He's still in 10% of teams, but that's probably a lot of people from the start who had him. So he's definitely a pod, and I do think he's potentially a keeper if he can stay fit on the field out in that outside spot outside of Hughes. He's devastating. But I guess the silver lining, if he's not back, then our big boy Solomona gets another start there. So I don't know. We're sort of winning both ways there, but we'll see if we do have to end up trading Katoa. Or we just, I don't know. We might just hold him. Fuck it. We might just hold him. Sean Johnson was our other trade-in for Nathan Cleary and went 112. I think it was on 105 and then he updated to 112. I had the vice captaincy on him, and honestly, this week was a really tough week for captaincies. So I just took it. Honestly, probably anything over like 80 to 90, I would have been very. It would have been very difficult not to take, but anything over like 90, I was pretty set on taking, just because again there was just no real obvious captain choice. Like my other one here, Cody Walker. Obviously Walker was pretty popular, but I don't know. Walker always scares me, especially with no Latrell Mitchell. I mean, he's been killing it, but he does have low score in him. 36 points, a bit of a disaster for people to captain. Joey Manu, 91 points, which was very nice, especially playing in the centers where he didn't see much ball, but he got a couple of nice tries there. Our center wing, so Ruben Garrick, 62, played at fullback, so that's really good news for Garrick. Obviously terrible Tom Trbojevic is out for the season, but Garrick, there was obviously the risk that maybe they go weeks long-term at fullback. Thank God Seabold isn't that stupid and decided to put Garrick at fullback, who, honestly, he is... Garrick is one of the most underrated players in the comp, without doubt. He's very... He's one of the best wingers in the game, and playing at fullback, he does a fantastic job. And I think fullback Ruben Garrick is definitely season keeper, regardless of Trbojevic in the team. Very, very handy. Val Holmes, 91. Oh, that feels good. Honestly, I wasn't expecting much from Holmes backing up here. I just thought, after the last time he backed up, he went 150 or whatever. I thought this backup, he's probably, he might get 40. I'll take a 40 to 50 for Holmes here after his second origin. But he got a couple of tries, both off kicks, I think. So he did well to get 91, and he's going to make some good cash, dude. What is he going up now? He's gone up 47K. He's going to have a real low break even, and it's worked out really nicely for me because he was the one guy, I remember talking about it, like he was the one origin guy that I was dead set on selling because the Cowboys missed so many games, but it's just worked out that I've had so much cover in the center wing that, second row and also like dummy half and halves, they've just been more pressing trades, and Holmes just sort of stuck there and not needed to trade him, and it's worked out really nicely. Alex Johnston with a 45. I mean, honestly, you'll take that. His base stats are actually pretty good this game. He was getting involved. I think, I don't know, with Blake Taff at fullback, I think Johnston does take a few more carries from the back because Taff, I mean, he is exciting, but he does get driven back a lot, so Johnston actually got in and did some hard work. I think he had a line break maybe, but yeah, honestly, 45 without a try, you'll definitely take. Mulatalo, obviously we did the vice captaincy loop, so brought him in. Sonny Taruva was the guy we took out, so it was a tough no, that's right. Billy, what did I do? Yeah, Billy Smith, I guess, was the guy we took out. Was it Taruva? Fuck, I don't know, dude. What did I do? It doesn't really matter. The bottom line is I picked Billy Smith out of our three. It was sort of middling. Jared Croker looked like he potentially could have got a big score, but, finished on 62, which is one of those funny ones because as a Croker owner, you're annoyed that he's going well because you didn't play him. But at the same time, I do want him to make some cash because I do think he is a sell pretty soon. So it was nice that he got another 62. He obviously copped a nasty head knock, so I don't know if he's going to be backing up this game or not, but it might be time for Croker to go. I'm not too sure. Sonny Taruva, 39 points. I mean, again, you'll take it. Honestly, Taruva, he could probably get traded as well, but like, he's just very safe. Like, he's such a safe option that I don't know. I'm not too sure of what we're gonna do. And then Billy Smith with a 43. He looked okay. His base stats were pretty good. He's not getting any attacking football, which is annoying. But at 360k, like, I think Billy Smith's a guy you just hold on to for now and hope he jags a try or two to jump up. And then Clinton Gutherson with 119. So he was probably it was out of Cody Walker or Gutherson who was going to be my captain. And I wasn't sure because obviously Gutherson coming off a couple of back-to-back hundreds, it's always worrying to do it again because, you know, someone's not due. And Gutherson is a guy like Walker that can go smallish. So I was just happy Johnson went pretty damn good and we could take the loop without too much concern. Obviously, Schuster was our fucking AE with a 21. But that's fine, you know. It is what you expect there with an AE loop. Obviously, if we didn't do the loop and put the captaincy on Gutherson, we would have scored a fair few more points. But I mean, you know, you can't predict it. You just got to take sometimes the safe options. But yeah, let's actually before I forget, let's have a quick look at dummy halves because I am curious to see sort of how expensive some of these guys are and also how they've been scoring because it's just a position I haven't really... So yeah, Reece Robson, 48 points. Like, he scored the same as fucking Grant and Cook. Did he play the full 80? He played 68 minutes, which is pretty damn good fucking effort after playing 80 minutes for New South Wales. Obviously, Marty didn't play, Brayley didn't play, Marshall King didn't play. Tanner Boyd is still sitting around that 500k mark, so I mean, he hasn't really gone off the boil too much. Wade Egan, 37. I mean, Jacob Little, 66. Cody Nicarima, who's popular, you got a 40. Anyone else? Jaden Sullivan, 81. Is there any, like, sort of out-of-the-box guys? I mean, Sammy Verrills is back. How many minutes is Verrills playing? I'm not going to get Verrills in, but he was a sneaky one at the start of the year. He's 80 minutes, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think Verrills just isn't really a super coach option. I mean, maybe in the future, but he just doesn't really have the game for super coach as it is now. And yeah, nothing really else. So dummy halves are a wasteland. There's just nothing. There's nothing really to get excited about. So let's get the team correct for this round. So obviously no Eels, which we got a few, but it's not really too bad. Cartwright goes, I guess. So okay, this is important. Well, actually no, it doesn't matter too much because we don't have to trade. So if Katoa doesn't play this week, we don't have to trade him. We could just swing Horsburgh to front row. Actually, no, that wouldn't help us at all. Yeah, if Katoa doesn't back up, we probably do have to trade him. And I probably want to trade him anyway. Although I wanted to trade Schuster. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I hope Katoa plays. But let's just go through it for now. Put Hines to start. I think Hines captaincy this week. Manu Walker, yes. Garrick Holmes, Mulatalo, Johnston. Who are the Rabbits playing? Warriors? I don't know. Do you play Johnston? Taruva, Croker, Smith. Panthers are playing Melbourne. Yeah, you probably wouldn't play Taruva. Croker's playing the Titans. Ooh, if Croker's backing up, he wouldn't be a bad shout. And then Buller will go in for Gutho. So, okay. What trades are we looking at? So like I said, dummy half, that's staying as is. Front row forward, that is staying as is for now. Until after Origin, then, depending on luxury trades, we could end up upgrading someone. Back row, Horsburgh, Bateman, Hopgood and Cartwright are all staying for now. I think they're potentially keepers. I mean, Cartwright, again, when Sean Lane comes back, I don't know. Surely Cartwright stays playing big minutes on the edge. But, I mean, fucking Arthur's done it before where Cartwright's looked really good. And then when they've had their full team on paper, he's the guy to go back to the bench. So, I don't know. We'll see. But at the moment, Cartwright's obviously going to stay. Schuster's got to go. Now, we do have 260k, which, you know what, let's have a quick look now. I don't think it's enough to get who I want, which I think you probably know who it is. What the hell did I just do? Whoops, I did Finu. Schuster. It is enough. So Dave Fafa, oh man, Fafita, 121 points, man. He had a massive break even, and of course he had to score a try, set a try up. But I mean, you know, at the end of the day, like when I traded him out, it still worked out really well. Obviously, there was every chance he was going to come out and go big one of these games, but the amount of games he's missed and he's going to miss, it was still the right decision. It's just a matter of trying to get him back. Which honestly, the more so. You know, let's say he's even like 900k when you try to get Fafita back, right? For me personally, it's actually not going to be, well, depends, but it's probably not going to be that difficult because around that time after Origin, you know, at the moment I've got like really no cheapy nuffs. I mean, fine, it was a bit of a fucking nuff at the moment just with what's happened, but there's no one else. So after Origin, that's probably around the time where you would start to look at, you know, someone like a Cartwright potentially. If his minutes go down, you could look at going Cartwright down to enough second row forwards, dual centre wing or something like that, that potentially could play, or mainly just for the cash, and then trade someone up, trade out Cartwright, and then trade up even a Hopgood. If Hopgood's minutes go down, you could trade Hopgood up to Fafita. So yeah, honestly, the more I look at it, it shouldn't be that hard to get Fafita in. Just with my value of every player, like, shouldn't be that bad. Shouldn't be that bad, even though we're gonna run a little thin for money, as it is now. So the guy is Britton Nikora. Really, Britton Nikora, I think, is the best option. He's actually at a pretty okay price. He's 650k. He's actually at his like starting price, funnily enough. Obviously his 300 average is down a little bit of his season average, but yeah, I mean the Sharkies now, I mean they got the Dragons this week, so that's a pretty good matchup. His scoring has still been really good, like, you know, a 69, 55, 74. He's got the Dragons, the Tigers in round 19, the Warriors in 20, Manly in 21, Panthers, Rabbits should be tough, but then Gold Coast, Cowboys, Newcastle. Dude, that's such a fucking dream run. Panthers, Rabbits are the only like really tough defensive teams. I mean, Warriors, I guess I'm selling a little short. They've been really, really good. So I guess Warriors as well, but that is a damn good draw for the Sharks. So, I mean, Nikora, I always said a couple of weeks ago, I didn't bring him in for the Major 16 bye. I was like, you know what? I won't bring him in. I don't need him this week. I'll wait till after his bye and then bring him in, and fucking getting rid of Schuster feels really good. Yeah. I think that's just what we're going to do. It's just a really nice trade, I think. We'll have a look at other options, but I think that's just solid. I mean, let's have a look at Manly's draw. So they do have the Roosters, so that could be a good game. They don't play 19, so yeah, again, like I just think getting rid of fucking Schuster's good. They do play 20, but the Sharks play 20 as well, don't they? Did I just look at that? I know I just looked at it, but I need to refresh. Yeah, they play 20, so that's fine. But yeah, 20 Cowboys and Sharks, Dragons. It's a bit of an up and down draw, but yeah, Schuster just, without Tom Trbojevic, I just don't have the confidence he can score. He's made a couple of 100K. I think it's time to dish off before before he bleeds cash. And we have dude. All of a sudden, like our second row for a few weeks there was looking pretty thin. We only really had David Fafita and then like a bunch of, sort of mid-range guys that were doing pretty well. Now we have Bateman, Horsburgh, Katoa, Hopgood, Nikora, Cartwright. That is fucking good. And then every other position is pretty good as well, like in terms of value. So the only other guy, I don't think I mentioned it, but Chansey. So I know I said at the start I was going to talk about it later, but Chansey, CNK. So if Katoa did play last week, I probably wouldn't have got Horsburgh in. Now, obviously, got 87 points, so I can't be disappointed. But if Katoa was there, I would have been able to have the 3 still guns second row forwards without having to play Schuster. So I would have... it would have been touch and go, but I think I probably would have traded Croker for CNK. He was the guy I wanted to get, but because Katoa was ruled out, I couldn't... it was more a pressing issue to trade a second row forward for a gun rather than getting in a CNK. Now, obviously, CNK has gone massive. 140 points, if you don't mind. Which is a bit devastating, but it is what it is. We still got Horsburgh. Now, oh God, I was looking at it like, did he update? But no, that Dallin Watene is Lesniak, 175. Jesus Christ. So yeah, he's 760k now. He got 145. Honestly, I think Chansey is a fade at this point. So Jermaine Asako fucking still scored. Bro, I was watching the scores of this game and fucking Asako, the Dolphins were getting hammered, and then the second half, the Eels just let him back in, and Asako still got 66 points, bro. I was like, man, the Eels are flogging them. Here comes a Asako, like 30-pointer, but he's still got 66. Oh man. But I think CNK is a fade at this point. He's too expensive. I mean, I can't get him this week anyway. And I don't think it's worth like going to a cheapie to get up to CNK. Obviously, he's been killing it. I mean, Sean Johnson is just putting it on an absolute silver platter for him. But, I mean, look at this. 94, 103, 84, 145. What the fuck is going on? It's been a pretty easy draw, though. It has to be said. Dolphins, Raiders, Dragons. He did go well against the Bronx as well, but it's a pretty easy draw. They come up against South, Parramatta, Sharks, Raiders. Yeah, it's a good back end of the draw for sure. But they missed 22. But then, yeah, Gold Coast Tigers, Manly, Dragons, Dolphins. That's a really good run home. So I don't know, maybe after their bye, look at bringing Chansey in if he's dropped a bit of cash. It's a good run home. But yeah, at 760, 4 pretty tough matches, you would think. I can't see myself going Chance now, which is disappointing. He is the one that got away. Like, I really wanted to start CNK at the start of the year. Actually, no, I did. Fuck, that's right. I did have CNK at the start of the year, but I think I traded him out when he missed a couple of games. Like, he had a bad head knock, and I thought, well, it's a decent time to jump off. But obviously, he's gone on. He's gone on and killed it. He's had a couple of stinkers with a couple of head knocks, and he's always a guy that is a little susceptible to that. So, you know, I don't know if I'd be looking to bring him in at this point, but if you have him, it's a fucking boost. So I think, yeah, honestly, I don't think I'm going to make another trade, which is good because I got 12 trades left, which is okay. It's honestly fine. The only thing I'd look at trading is like one of these guys to a cheapie. I mean, let's have a quick gander at like a cheapie potentially. Obviously, Valens Tavare. I mean, he's obviously getting the starting spot now. What is he up to in terms of price? So, I mean, Braden McGrady, I wouldn't be going him. I don't think his job security is great. So yeah, he's gone up 100k. He's 300k. I don't know. I don't know if it's really worth it, honestly. I think at the end of it, when I need a bit of money, I'm just going to trade a guy to like an actual cheapy enough, or if there's someone else just pops up out of the blue, maybe. But I don't know, going to like a 300k guy. I mean, Dylan Luke is playing in the second row forward. It's going okay. But I don't know how long Lachlan Fitzgibbon's out for. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't do anything. Yeah. Kohler, dude. Kohler just really hasn't kicked on, has he? He still looks good at times, but yeah, averaging 40, you really would have thought he would have really, I don't know, gone up this year. Xavier Coates, nah. I just think I'm gonna keep Croker. I think I'm just gonna keep Sharuva, Croker, and fucking Smith. They're all pretty handy, like, replacements if needed. And yeah, I mean, if someone pops up out of the blue, but I just think at this time of the year, there's not really a need for it. Because again, if we look at going forward, who do I want to bring back? So Dave Fafita, yes, he's number one priority, and Nathan Cleary. So Cleary, but I mean, Johnson is 800k, and he's still going to go up in price after getting a few back-to-back tons. So Johnson back up to Cleary when he's back should be a pretty easy trade. And then, you know, one of my second rolls to Fafita. We might have to make a bit of cash for that. But that's only, you know, 3 trades there. Excuse me. Like, that's insane. Like, if I go to enough to make the cash with Fafita. So 3 trades. Who else do I want? I don't know. Center wing is looking pretty strong. Like, Johnston, we probably want... I mean, Campbell Graham is probably a better option than Johnston, but I don't know. The center wing, I think... Who else is it? Let's have a quick squiz. Who is sort of the priority for Johnston? Because I guess I just talked about it, but yeah, I guess I mean, Azarko potentially, Chansey after their bye for the run home, I think could be. I mean, Campbell Graham, his 3-round average is only 67 though. He has fallen away a bit. Penasini, I mean, he does have the big score in him, but then he's only averaging 60. Nick Meaney's gone off a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Like, all these guys, I mean, Greg Marshew, honestly, out of all of them, probably Greg Marshew is probably the most consistent. Like, all of these guys, like, have their ups and downs. At point, Greg Marshew just goes out and just scores well. He is 700k, though, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would like to get him because he plays the Dogs. Doesn't cover round 19 though, so that's fine. Then Tigers, Melbourne, Raiders, Dolphins. It's a pretty decent draw, but yeah, I don't know. Marju potentially, but again, like, it's a bit of a sideways trade to most of these guys, and I do think we have like most of the bet. I mean, fucking Will Warbrick. He's averaging 50 for the year. His 3-round average is 82, 5-round 67. Bro, anyone that held on to Warbrick fucking is reaping the rewards. Like, unbelievable. But yeah, I don't know. Dallin. Fucking Dallin or Tanny. Oh man. I mean, Johnson and Chance are just fucking setting up. I mean, Johnson is setting up Chansey, and then Chansey is setting up Wateni Zelezniak beautifully. It's poetry in motion at the moment. But yeah, they're all a bit up and down. So the center wing, I don't know. It's just a bit like wait until the dust settles, I guess, a bit. 5'8". I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess Munster is the priority, but wait till after Origin. And then it's pretty much just the front row. Like, again, if luxury trades are there, then yeah, we could look to bring in a Tino or a Payne Haas. I don't know. I'd probably lean towards Payne Haas. What did Payne score? I know he definitely played far less minutes this game. He still scored 59 points with way less minutes. He's 680. He's at a pretty okay price now, but obviously I'm not going to bring him in. Yeah, I mean, Tarpany, Horsburgh. I mean, I guess Nrl Blake. Nrl Blake is absolutely still killing it, but I mean, Payne Haas is still averaging more than Nrl Blake, even though Nrl Blake just keeps scoring tries. So I don't know. I still think Payne Haas is probably the best out of the bunch there for the run home. And then, yeah, honestly, other than that, like, it's pretty okay. So I'm pretty content with the team going forward. We'll talk more about sort of the round coming up for the round 18 preview, but that'll wrap up this video. Overall, 12 trades remaining now. I guess I probably shouldn't have done the trade in this video, but I got too excited. I got too excited that we're bringing in Britton Nakora at the moment. I guess we'll wait till team list. I mean, if Ali Katoa is not playing, maybe we go Katoa instead of Schuster, but I still think Schuster's got to go, but we'll talk about that after team list. So hopefully guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.